So what I really want to have a conversation with is kind of what we were talking about before, right? In my mind, I've tried to stop looking at fathers in terms of like good and bad, you know what I mean? And I credit you with some of that, you know, from just the conversation that you and I had about your pops, man, and y'all relationship and kind of how you saw things, you know, after he passed, man. And so I would love for you to share some of that, you know what I mean? Because like I said, you know, just listening to you was really powerful, because sometimes we think we know as kids, you know, or as offspring, whatever you want to call it. We think we know, and we feel like we got a good understanding, but until you really kind of deep dive and really understand where the person was at, where what they might have been going through, what they might have been experiencing, you know, it ain't, you know, sometimes we tend to take things personally, I guess is what I'm saying. And so we think it has to do with us, you know, well, shit, why wasn't my daddy, you know, in my life, man? Maybe it was something with me, you know, why I wasn't good enough, or I wasn't this, you know, he didn't love me, or he didn't this. And I think, you know, our conversation helped me to understand that even if somebody is not present, even if they're not active in your life, doesn't necessarily mean that they're a deadbeat, doesn't necessarily mean that they don't give a damn, doesn't mean that they don't care. And so, like I said, would you know, just share some of your story, and we'll kind of talk and have a conversation from there, man. Really.
Okay, that's no problem. Well, as you know, me and my dad's relationship, I wouldn't say he was never present. He was. It just wasn't consistent.
Oh, okay.
Wasn't consistent. Like, I rarely remember times that we actually spent together.
Okay.
Vaguely. I try to count them on my hand throughout my adult life. Like,
wow.
I can only remember maybe five or six times.
Oh, wow.
And those times with him, knew who he was, knew his brothers, sisters, his mother's, on that side of the family, I'm the oldest grandchild.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I'm the oldest grandchild.
Okay.
So with that being said, you know, kind of knowing that, the times I was with him was either like on some go to his mom's house, which he stayed with his mom.
Okay.
Still along with his sisters as well, even as an adult.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what was going on there. never knew him to have a job, career, anything. Not something that he told me. We didn't have a lot of deep conversation. Again, you got to think to yourself, I was 10, 11, 12.
Okay.
Up until those times.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Where I was like going to spend a night over the weekend, that type. Again, at 10 and 12, you're not going to really remember any deep, meaningful conversation that you and your father had. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, very rare.
Yeah, very rare. So, given that, like I said, seems sporadically, maybe if I would put a ballpark figure on it, maybe 4 or 5 times a year.
Okay.
4 or 5. And those are just, like I said, Friday to Sunday type deal. Again, he lived that side of the family. It was kind of like I had cousins.
Okay.
So me going there was hanging out with my cousin.
Okay.
Pops really wasn't doing anything.
Yeah.
He was just there.
He there.
He might be there when I get there. I might not see him again the Sunday night when I go home.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That type of stuff. No real conversation dialogue. Never really asked my mom too much about him, just because you don't.
Yeah.
So you just know you're your dad.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's it. That's all I know.
Did she ever say anything about him? Did she ever,
Really.
Okay.
Not
never
really.
like spoke bad about him or anything like that?
None
None of that. Okay.
Never threw him up on the bus. Never was like, we was together. I don't even know the story how they got together.
Okay.
I don't want to know the story how they got together. It's weird now as an adult. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. But just through that, say about 12, 13, it kind of just, as we become older and teenagers, it just stopped.
Okay.
I don't know what was going on in his life.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He really didn't know what was going on in mine. We didn't have really like phone contacts.
Mm-hmm.
I remember he gave me a Zippo lighter for my birthday.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Right, which is weird because he knew I smoked at that time or whatever. Gave me a Zippo. I held it dear to me because it's the only thing he ever gave me.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Only thing he ever gave me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, only thing he ever gave me. I do not know where it is right now.
Really?
I knew where that thing was in like probably 15, 20 years.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah, wish I had it.
Yeah.
Wish I had it. But to say that, let's get back on track. Like 13, 12, 13, you're a teenager. You know how we grew up, man. You knew me 13,
sure.
14. Same guy I am now.
Yeah.
Cocky, rambunctious, overly confident. So as you're going through and you're growing through your teenage years, you're finding yourself trying to be this, I ain't had no time for Pops. And he really didn't obviously have time for me either. I didn't see that as a bad thing.
Okay.
Just because he wasn't around. You know what I'm saying? So you kind of over your head, you're not thinking about it, you're trying to live your life, play sports, date girls. You know what I'm saying? You got your own thing going on.
Yeah.
Think around 13, 14, I remember somehow we get in contact with each other. I don't know if he called me, called my mom, whatever. But he was like, I'm going to come see you. At this time, I'm playing sports. I think I'm good.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I think I'm all right. Things I knew about him was I knew he played basketball.
Oh, wow.
In high
Okay.
school.
Okay.
At Milton.
Oh, wow.
Because he went to Milton.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember this, but it used to be a house on Kimball Bridge where the racetrack is now.
Yeah.
That was my grandfather's property. His dad.
Oh, wow.
Where that racetrack was.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
I didn't know that.
He was right by Bailey Johnson, right across the street from the hood. When the
Okay. Yeah.
That was the Pool family.
Oh, wow.
That is a pool.
Right.
So knew all that just through common knowledge. But anyway, back to the story. Hits me up one day, was like, hey, man, I heard you play basketball. Don't know how he heard. We don't talk.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? He's like, yeah, I used to play in high school. I was like, okay, cool. Well, I guess. I don't know. But he was tall.
Okay.
I was about 6'4", 6'5".
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I guess that's where I got my height from.
Yeah.
My whole family really short.
That's what's up.
That's where I got my height from. And I ain't that tall. But we went to the rec. That's where I play ball at. Went to the rec. Dude asked me for some shorts. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Again, husky kid, man. So fit my shorts. You know what I'm saying? Put some shorts on, went to the rec, man, dogged him out, bro. Horrible. Old school basketball. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, man.
You got to think, man. This cat's 30, in his mid-30s probably, almost 40.
Yeah.
Trying to play basketball with a 14-year-old kid. It was funny, man. Whooped him. And I remember that a lot. It was just funny, man. The whole thing was just funny to me now. But after that, I really hear from him anymore.
Let me ask you this. What made you receptive to that? What made you open to it? I know you said, that you would kind of sporadically go to your grandma's house. I'm going to my cousins, going to play with my cousins, or hang out with my cousins or whatever. So that did establish some bit of relationship. But I feel like, in the rough patches, in the absence or the silence, I should say, like, you didn't harbor no feelings. You seem like you didn't have no, like, all right, cool, out of sight, out of mind,
The way I think I internalize that now as an adult is when you don't know, you don't know.
Okay.
And when you don't question, you don't question.
Okay.
I think it's kind of to the point that we've talked about before, is like, as you get older, you know what I'm saying, you really start trying to figure out stuff. You kind of see how your childhood was brought up and the things you went through and what the real story was.
Right. There we go.
Because there's a lot, our community, it's a lot of hushing. It's a lot of don't ask, don't tell.
Right.
It's a lot of that. And not saying that I had questions then, but got way more curious, as you'll see as the story goes on.
Yeah. Okay.
Just as the story goes on. So me being receptive to that was just like, no, that's my pops. It was normal.
Okay.
Because again, remember, like, our visits weren't scheduled. They were like, hey, I'm coming to get you this weekend. Do you want to come? And I'd be like, yeah, no. There was no slight if it was no. It was good if it was yeah. You know what I'm saying? So that's just what it was. And that's basically the last thing I kind of remember hanging out with him as a teenager, was like that day we played basketball, and I don't think I heard from him much until I got a phone call. And that'll like kind of take you into that. But even more or less in that situation, you 14 to 15 to 16, you're finding yourself, you're learning new stuff, you're starting to develop real thoughts about real things.
Okay.
Whether you don't have that wiggle room anymore for more or less I wouldn't say a cop out, but a definite. How do you feel about people? How you feel about stuff? 18, 19, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Kind of you
Yeah.
So what you think is what you think.
Right.
And given that I kind of, just through life became more judgmental. You know what I'm saying? And was on some stuff where like it is what it is, blah, blah, blah. So let's fast forward to, I think it was 2003. 2003.
Okay.
I get a phone call. I'm at home. I get a phone call, and it's my dad.
How old are you?
I am 22.
Okay.
22, 23.
Okay.
Again, I'm grown now.
Yeah.
Grown, got my own thing going on. Can't really tell me nothing.
Of course.
You know, I'm just doing me. No kids, you know, good looking young man doing his thing. You know. So calls me and didn't really hear any change in his voice. I'm like, yo, what's up? Like he was like, just want to let you know I'm sick. I'm in the hospital. He's like, the doctors told me I have tuberculosis and cancer.
Oh, wow.
Right? So I hear it. At this time in my mind, I don't talk to the dude. He don't talk to me. So it's whatever.
Okay.
I'm kind of like on some, basically told him he wasn't shit.
Okay.
In a nutshell, to be honest.
Okay.
So basically told him that he wasn't shit, you know. And in that, you know, he did say, he did tell me he apologized for not being a better father.
Okay.
He wished he could have done more, done better. But he did, you know, love me.
Yeah.
This, that, and the third. Again, me not being very receptive. Because at this point in time, honestly, you ain't been around, bro. So, sorry.
So, how long was the gap? So 14 to roughly 22, 23. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Wow. Damn.
So, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm finding me.
Yeah.
Like, you basically become, you know, I wouldn't say non-existent in my world. Still knew who he was. I wasn't trying to see him. He wasn't trying to see me.
Okay.
For whatever reason, I didn't question.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, and again with that, I still knew I had a whole nother grandmother over there. 3 aunts.
Did any of them try to reach out to you?
No, man.
Nobody. Okay.
No. So it was just like a thing where like, hey, y'all don't mess with me. I ain't gonna mess with y'all. Okay. Which was the same approach I did my regular family.
Yeah.
The other side of my family.
Yeah.
Like, you don't mess with me. I ain't gonna mess with
you. Yeah. I ain't searching for you.
So yeah, I ain't searching for you. So that conversation happens. Hang up the phone. Kinda after the phone call, thought about it, millisecond. Processed it in my head. Went on about my day, man.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, like went on about my day.
Yeah.
You know, in the back of your mind, you're thinking all kind of stupid stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like you weren't a good pops. Now I can't say he wasn't a good pops. He just wasn't the.
Yeah.
He wasn't the prototypical dad.
So
that I longed for.
A
child would long for in layman's terms.
So I don't have a problem with you saying good because, you know, good is always relative, man. And so I've had that conversation with a lot of men. Like, how do you qualify good? Is it based off the child? Is it based off of you doing your best?
Right.
You know, all of these different things. And, you know, that's always an interesting conversation, but I know what you mean by that. You know what I mean? And so I don't think, like you said, the prototypical dad, you know, Heathcliff Huxtable.
Ain't nobody on Heathcliff. But, no, with that, like I said, it was more or less just the feelings that anybody else will have, man. Like, if you have a negative tone towards someone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's what the conversation was in my viewpoint. It was negative. I was purposely mean. I was purposely rude.
Okay.
Just because you haven't.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like your girl hitting you up if you ain't talked to her in a while. Your ex.
Yeah.
What do you want?
Yeah.
That was
real
in my
short
mind.
with you.
Yeah. What do you want? What do you calling me? Well, I'm 22.
Yeah.
I'm in my prime. What do you want? Like I said, after that phone call, man, you think like, okay, well, I guess that's what you get. You know what I'm saying? Like, what you calling me for?
Yeah.
You call me when you're bad. Obviously, something's wrong with you.
Yeah. Now you want to holler at me.
You want to holler at me. And that's the mentality I took. Didn't bear on it. Didn't think about it long. But again, the next day, get another phone call. And the phone call is my father had passed.
Oh, really?
Very next day.
Oh, wow.
From that phone conversation. Again, not thinking about it. I was like, all right, cool. And really, honestly, in my mind, that was it.
Okay.
That's how I felt in my heart.
Okay.
Like in my heart of hearts.
Yeah.
Like, okay, that's it. Cool, you ain't been around. I said what I said. You know, it happened.
Wow.
You told me you were sick. I didn't know if he had been in the hospital 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4. I didn't know.
Yeah.
So, what it is, like, if you weren't around, so it's not going to affect my life. You know, so that was that.
I didn't realize it happened that fast, man.
Very next
you
day.
know, I didn't realize it happened that fast. Okay.
Very next day.
Okay.
Nobody really. His mom didn't reach out. I think either his mom or his sister, which my aunt, told my mom. That's how I found it. My mama told me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my mama told me. And again, like 22, man. Like,
of course.
Whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Whatever. Now, this is where it gets interesting.
Okay.
So, again, a little backstory about me. Southern kid, raised in the church, been to a lot of black funerals.
Okay.
A lot of black funerals. So, funeral comes up to my dad's funeral. I hear about it. Of course, I'm going to go.
Okay.
That's just what I've been taught.
Okay.
Somebody passes.
Yeah.
You see them off. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You go pay your respects or whatever. I'm used to a regular, in my terms, a regular black funeral at a church. Loved ones. You know, somebody gonna say something good about you, singing.
People gonna lie about you.
Yeah, people gonna lie. Yeah.
People gonna lie about you, man. If you went good,
you know,
they gonna find something to tell about you.
That's what I'm, you know, that's what I'm expecting in my head.
Okay.
In my head, that's what I'm expecting. A little wary, you know what I'm saying, a little nervous about going. Again, I haven't seen that side of the family.
Yeah.
Since I've been grown.
Almost a decade.
You know, and again, I'm the oldest grandchild. And we follow like right behind each other.
Oh, really? So y'all all close?
Yeah, it's not a big gap.
Oh, wow.
But we're not close in age. We're not close in anything else.
No relationship.
Yeah, none. So anxious about going. Me and my mother go, and my grandmother. We go to the funeral. And first they were like, it's at a funeral home. So in my mind, I'm like, well, it's at the funeral home. Okay, guess y'all ain't got no money. Cool, right? I done been, you know, I know.
You done seen it, you know how it go.
I know how it go. So get there, get to the funeral home, and I learned that he's being buried by the state.
Okay.
Which I didn't know what that meant at that time. I had no clue, because again, every funeral I've been to, it's been a regular classic funeral. You know what I'm saying? And I've been to a lot of them.
Hanley Shelton,
you know,
Gregory B. Levette.
Somebody. Right? So I get there, get to the funeral. It's probably 15 people there. Funeral home, maybe 15 people.
And now that's what, family?
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. Now, again, I'm used to what I'm used to.
Right, of course.
So I walk in. First thing you know, you usually look at when you walk in is the casket. I look them there. It's literally a box, like a casket-sized box that looks like it has carpet over it.
Oh, wow.
So I'm thinking to myself, like, what's going on, man? Like, internally, like, what's going on? Don't really say nothing to nobody. Because, again, I ain't seen you in a decade, almost a decade. Now, I'm grown now.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So it ain't no, you come to me, hey, auntie, I'm grown. You ain't saying nothing to me. Again, I'm on some still stuff, but I ain't saying nothing to you.
Okay.
Did say hello to my grandmother, though. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
like,
okay.
Hey, how you doing? Whatever. Funeral goes on. Funeral director talks. Comes to the part where, you know, any family has any remarks. Now, this is what kind of changed my whole thought process on that entire situation.
Okay.
Which was, my dad has 2 sisters and 3 sisters and a brother.
Okay.
All of them were there, and his mama. When the funeral home director asked, would anybody like to say any comments for the deceased or whatever, nobody said a word.
Nobody
said a word.
Oh, wow.
At that point, internally, I got angry.
Okay.
Because I'm trying to figure out how you got a brother that passed away, but you ain't got anything to say about it. Good, bad, or indifferent.
Right.
Then I'm like, well, you got a mama too, and she ain't saying that. But again, I'm used to, like you said, people making you look good.
Right, of course.
Whether it's your friend, somebody. Nobody says anything. So we literally, it's over. Lasts about 15 minutes. Shortest funeral I've ever been to in my life.
Wow.
Go to a funeral home, South Georgia somewhere.
Okay.
See the whole, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't like you watched the casket go on the ground. It was more or less you just saw the gravesite.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Or where it was.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
like it's going to be in this area somewhere when you get by the state or whatever. Whole time thoughts running through my head, man, and I'm like, this is messed up. Because I'm still mad that nobody has anything positive to say about my dad. You know what I'm saying? Leave that and leave that funeral, and basically the next probably 4 or 5 years of my life, it had always like bothered me.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But I started to try to remember my my experiences with my dad.
Okay.
Like I tried to remember, like, okay, I spend the weekend with you and the family, but sometimes you wouldn't be there.
Okay.
Or how, like, I really didn't hear much conversation between you and your sisters.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to just figure out, like...
Yeah, trying to piece it together.
You know what I'm saying? Piece it together. So, with that piecing together, came to find with questions and, you know what I'm saying, me just putting two and two together, basically.
Okay.
He was the black sheep of the family. And I really just think he was just that black sheep.
Okay.
That kind of did his own thing. You know what I'm saying? And they accepted it as just what it was.
Okay.
You know, and for that, I mean, I really didn't have any thoughts or opinions, really. I just thought that was a crazy way for a family or somebody you love for you to be sent off like that. But in retrospect with that, it also made me go back and realize or think to myself, like, I should have listened and been receptive when he did reach out.
Okay.
Just because he tried to make amends. He did make amends. And I say tried because in my mind, that's the first thing it goes to. But he made amends. I wasn't receptive to it. Okay. But he did. He said, I believe what he needed to say.
So let me ask you this. Do you feel like you owe that to him? Do we owe that to anybody to be receptive to, you know, so if somebody's coming to you and they're trying to apologize, right, do I owe you the benefit of saying, okay, you know what? Yeah, you wronged me, at least in some way. You didn't do right by me in my eyes, right, you know, and somebody's acknowledging that. Do you have to, you know, forgive them or accept it? Or
I don't think you have to forgive them, and I don't think you have to accept it.
Okay.
I do think you should be able, or you should be willing to let them get what they need to get off. Okay. I do believe that. Okay. Because and I know if he wasn't in the situation he would, I wouldn't got to that phone call. Okay. See what I'm saying? But he did do it. So obviously, in his heart, he could have called anybody. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? If you get some bad news, you call who you want to call. But right, he did reach out and call me. And he said what I guess he felt like he needed to say. Okay. So, yeah, I do think that you should be receptive or at least hear a person out. I'll say it that way. You should be able to hear somebody out.
Hear them out.
Now, I don't believe you have to accept it. I don't believe you don't have to walk away and high five it either. Yeah. But at least give that person that space to say what they need to say.
Okay. And I asked that because that was where in the past in one of our conversations, I got that part of the message. Right. And so I just always remember, you know, thinking about, you know, whether or not, you know, a father is a deadbeat or a father don't love their kids or something like that. And somehow I came to what I feel like is the realization that for whatever reason, sometimes it's easier to keep distance. Sometimes it's easier to go start over with a new family. Sometimes it's easier to just not try to repair or mend a relationship because you may feel like in your mind that it's too far gone. Right. And so I remember you saying that and making that comment, and what stood out to me was just the fact that he tried to apologize. You know what I mean? So it made me think about the fact that he at least knew. He was at least aware that, hey, man, I could probably be doing better. Right. And what I'll say is that it impacted me in a huge way, because it made me want to give my father the benefit of the doubt, you know, and the benefit of the doubt in the sense that I at least want to try and understand where you were at, right. You know, and it helped me to have a really tough conversation with my father, right. You know what I mean? And at least, you know, get the ball rolling in that, because I too, in a very, very similar situation as you, really didn't have much communication, much interaction right. With my father at all. And so as a kid, you can kind of look at it a lot of different ways. I know I was angry about it for a long time. You know, I always tell people I can remember seeing my dad riding down the street and he trying to wave at me, and I flicked him off, man. Like, what you waving at me for? You know,
definitely been there.
You know, fuck you. Yeah. You know, and that's how I felt. Right. You know, and as you grow older and the distance kind of expands, and you get used to not having a consistent relationship, or you get used to the sporadic interactions, and as time goes on, you grow into a man, like you said, and you don't need a father anymore. And I felt like, you know, when we had our conversation, your experience just kind of played in my head. You know, it played in my head, and it's part of the reason, like I said, that I was able to have that conversation, man, because I was like, man, what was it that was going through, man? What was it going on, you know? And that's something that I plan to sit down and have, you know, a more in-depth conversation. But I think that it can be very, very helpful. And, you know, something that you and I talked about a little earlier is just the fact that when it comes to men, everybody wants to qualify good or bad, right? And you're either a good father or you're a bad father, you know, and we want to qualify everything. And with women, it's not always the case. No. You know what I mean? I haven't heard too many people beat a woman up, you know, when it comes to being a less than stellar mother. Right. But I've seen men get dogged out.
I think we all have, man.
Yeah, seen them get dogged out. And it's just one of those things where, like I said, I am at a place in my life where I want to have enough grace with people just to try and understand, man, because, you know, what I begin to realize is that, man, we're not always going to be in the best situation. We're not always going to be in the best frame of mind. Right. Hell, we don't know what the circumstances were concerning it, bro. I don't know if you wanted a child or not. I don't know if you told my mama to off me, you know, get rid of me. I don't know all of those things. And so the reality is that until I have a conversation, until I at least, you know, get it from the horse's mouth, you know, I can't try to form a judgment. And even in that, I still, while it impacts me, I still don't feel like I get to judge somebody else because it's their life. Right. You know, and everybody has to accept the consequences of their actions. And we don't get to choose those. Sometimes they're good. Sometimes they're bad. You know what I mean? But, you know, like I said, I sleep and I have peace at night just from trying to get understanding. You know what I mean? Because my thing is, when I get understanding, I feel like that puts me in a place to have empathy. And to look at the situation and think about it from the standpoint of, if I were in that situation, how would I have responded? And so, you know, what I'll ask you is, you know, given that you figured out that your father was somewhat of a black sheep in the family, did that kind of begin to make a little bit more sense to you? Did you have any more empathy, or how did that
I wouldn't call it empathy. Okay. I think it was just more understanding.
Okay.
Again, I still haven't asked anyone a lot of personal questions about my dad.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, even in that aspect. But I do know that he was the black sheep of the family. I do know he was let's say, an eccentric individual.
Okay.
Just by nature, just him being a human. And I will say this, like, I and even talking to my mom about it a little bit, and even me living my life, I really just feel like, and I don't know this to be true or not, but this is what I take with me, and it keeps my head, my heart grounded, which I don't think he ever wanted to be a father. Okay. I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think he had much direction in life, period. Okay. I think he was really trying to find himself. Okay. I really do. Which to me makes sense about how he was and what I gathered from being with him, and then how that whole situation played out, which I just think he didn't know where he was in life. I don't think he was where he wanted to be. Okay. And how can you raise a child? How can you be a father and you don't have yourself together?
Understand?
And he clearly didn't have himself together.
Okay.
See what I'm saying? And I've been there in my life. Right. So that's easy for me to put those two together and say, okay, you might not have known what was going on, how to be a father, what to do, how to do it. You're winging it, but you know you got a kid here. And even through that, what's crazy is my dad had another kid. I have a brother.
Oh, really?
Yeah, another brother.
So, hey, this just in.
Yeah, man.
I didn't know that, man. Yeah. This is my first time hearing this, man.
He's named after my dad.
Oh, wow.
Never met him before in my life.
Wow.
Yeah.
Are you interested in meeting him?
No.
Okay.
Nah, just because, I mean.
Okay.
I didn't have that much of a relationship with my dad on that level. I know he didn't either, though. Okay. So I can say, hey, bro, how you doing? But besides that, I mean, 43-year-old man, we ain't, you know. Okay. It's not anything going to be dap up or anything like that. But, I mean, no. I mean, I have Facebook searched him a couple times. Okay. You know, haven't come to any conclusion because I'm pretty sure he look like my daddy. Okay. Looking for the funny colored eyes. But my cousins know who he is. Okay. On that side because they're around my age or whatever. Okay. We still don't have the best relationship either.
Do you have any desire to find out more about him? Is there anything that pulls at you at times or, you know?
No, not really. I think mentally I'm in a good place with me about it. Okay. I really wish that phone call would have went different. Okay. So if people ask me, you know, yes, is there anything you regret? That's always my number one. Okay. Always in life. So being receptive to that conversation.
What advice would you give people from your experience? You know, like if somebody has a broken relationship with their father, because that to me impacts so many men. You know, I'm sure there's somebody listening that probably going through a similar situation, man. Only difference is their father probably hadn't passed away. Right. Okay. And so, you know, is there any advice, any tips, any just, you know?
I mean, I think me and you have talked about it as well, just on that level, which is try to gain some understanding if you can. But that understanding has to be very open and very broad. Okay. Meaning it might not make sense to you. Okay. And it probably won't make sense to you. Because if you're chasing that, your mind frame is going to be focused on you weren't the parent that I needed you to be. Not on all the factors, good or bad or indifferent, whether you understand, believe them or not, that might have been what was going on in their life. And trying to gain an understanding of that, I think with common sense and this natural progression of you thinking in your mind, that you should be able to piece some stuff together that will give you some kind of understanding. Okay. Now, it probably won't be the closure you need if you're searching for closure, but understanding, definitely try to figure that out. Try to figure that out. Because you don't want that phone call, man. Nobody wants that phone call.
So what just popped into my head is that there was another a very, very similar situation. Of course, in the barbershop, you see and you hear so many different situations over the years. And there was definitely a young man that I know who, for whatever reason, didn't have the best relationship with his father. but I know that his father cared about him, know that his father loved him, and I think he was a little cold with his father. And when his father passed away, man, it was almost like the dude was inconsolable, man. You know what I mean? And it really hit him hard. Right. You know, I feel like his father was in his life consistently. Don't know if he did everything the way he wanted to and all that kind of stuff. I think, you know, I've been just thinking through so many different thoughts in terms of what it means to be a father, what it means to be a man. And shoot, bro, I think it's tough.
Yeah.
I think it's extremely difficult, man. And I don't think that everyone that's not a father fully understands the magnitude of what it is, you know what I mean? And you know, what comes with it. You know, obviously, you know, there's certain demands and expectations, but I think, you know, from just a child's perspective, shoot, how many of the expectations that we have for our parents, how many of those are we able to articulate? You know what I mean? And so it's one of those things where it's like, how can I hold you accountable for something that I couldn't even express? You know, it's almost like I'm expecting you to read my mind. There are some basic needs that, you know, hey, man, I may be able to see, but, you know, just not being able to fully express, you know, what we need from our parents or what we want from them, aside from material things, I think oftentimes leads to a lot of disappointments. And I don't know if I would, now the way that I'm looking at it, I don't know if I would necessarily blame that on the parent. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, like I said, it's just helped me to have a little bit more grace, man.
And I totally agree with you on that, in that aspect. I mean, you think in that certain instance that someone would be trying to search for more answers. I mean, I'm at the point in my life where I don't.
Okay.
If it comes to me,
okay,
I'll definitely, something will trigger, I'll be interested, but I'm not looking for that. I'm not looking for that closure. To me, it's been too much time has passed.
Okay.
You know, and I'm kind of at peace with that.
Okay.
With it, but even knowing fathers, like you said, just to piggyback on what you said, I think it's basically what you see when you grow up. It's your community, it's your environment. I mean, I think to myself, and I was like, do I know many people that I know, my friends and family, that grew up with a father? That percentage is very low. Very low. I mean, I pretty much got my idea of fathering through coaches.
Okay.
Playing sports.
Okay.
That's really about it.
Okay.
I can think about my close friends now and family now. Like a 2-parent household wasn't
common at all.
It wasn't common at all.
Yeah.
So again, even seeing that, you might see a dad with his kids and, you know, the family together. I've always wanted that. Always wanted the Cosby Show. I think every growing up in that thing, you want the Cosby Show, man. You want Theo, you want Vanessa, you want Clef. You know what I'm saying? You want Heathcliff too. You want them all, but that's not your reality. And I think everybody shined in a good light, and they seem happy, and they seem to have what they want at that point in time. And I think I'll say every black kid wants that in our generation, in our age group, because that's what we saw. Now, getting it is a whole different story. Now, outside of that, we all know that so many factors determine what's good, what's bad, what's indifferent. And we're not even talking, me and you were just talking about mothers and fathers, but let's get grandmothers into play, aunties who play moms sometime, uncles who might play dads, which I had all that.
Okay.
I had all that as well.
Okay.
I had uncles, cousins, your dad.
Okay.
You know, my uncle, who that would be, strangely. But yeah, I knew positive male figures in my life.
Okay.
So it wasn't like I didn't know what it was. It was just that wasn't my reality.
Okay.
And sometimes when things aren't your reality, you don't tend to look outside of it.
That's fair.
But it's always going to be hard. I don't think you're ever going to get the answers you really want in that situation because you have a certain thing that you want answered. And I don't think in most cases it's not going to be answered the way you want it to.
Yeah.
So it's not really going to fulfill you.
So what you're saying, it resonates with me so much. Resonates with me so much simply because, and I say it resonates so much simply because I was like that for a while.
Really?
You know, I was like that for a while where it was like, hey, man, you know, if we ever have this conversation, you know, I want to know this, I want to know this, I want to know this, I want to know that. And I was trying to set expectations on the conversation rather than true understanding is I'm going into it to understand. You tell me.
Right.
You know, you tell me. I'm going to ask some questions. You tell me, you know, and I can't pre-qualify what the answer should be. So if the answer ain't in this ballpark that I think it should be in, then, I'm pissed or I'm upset or I'm angry. I'm disappointed. I'm, you know, let down because of it. And I just think that for me, it's one of those situations where when I say understanding, I truly mean understanding. Like, where were you? You know what I mean? I'm to the point where, shoot, if I have a conversation with my pops and he say, hey, man, your mama was a jump off, I'm cool with that, bro. We grown men. Right. I get it. Right. I understand now. You know what I'm saying? I've lived enough to understand, bro. Shit happens. Stuff happens, you know. And that's why I said, you know, if you say, hey, man, I wasn't trying to be no father, man. I was in a place where I just didn't give a damn about nothing, man. Exactly. Okay, cool. Exactly. Cool. It's not my place to judge. It's not my place to beat you up and you know, try to make you feel what I felt during that time. Exactly. I've just taken a different approach in how I look at things. And I just understand that without everything that has taken place in my life, the things that have wounded me, the things that made me cry, the things that hurt my feelings, the things that made me mad, I wouldn't be who I am today. Exactly. And I'm proud of who I am today. I'm still a work in progress. I'm still growing. I'm still trying to be better. But I wouldn't trade that for anything. You know, I think that something that helped me understand that is just we have this fantasy, idealistic way of looking at things. And we think that, hey, man, if this person was here, it would have been like this and it would have been this and I would have been this and I would have been that. And we never look at the flip side of the coin, man. The pendulum swings both ways, man. As good as you think it could have been in your head, shit could have been a nightmare. Right. Yeah. You dealing with somebody who ain't got no clue about being a parent. Don't know nothing about this, man. You could be fucked up right now. You know what I'm saying? You can. Like, and that's what I don't think people stop and pause and recognize. You could be a train wreck right now, man, because somebody who didn't know. So I look at it and I'm like, okay. And I was going to ask you, you mentioned the coaches. I was going to say, who stood in the gap for you? You know, who were some of those men that you look at and you were like, dang, man, this, because these were people that, you know, whether they knew it on their own or somebody helped them figure it out, they had enough figured out that they could show and be an example to you.
Well, I think it was coaches, specifically Robert Smith, baseball coach, David Sonnenberg, basketball coach, countless number of football coaches just throughout. And it wasn't like they were covering me. It wasn't like they were pouring verbally a lot into me, because they weren't. They were just a male that wanted to see me do better. Okay. Wanted to see me excel. But it was in sports. Okay. And I have to be honest with that. It was because of sports, basically. Okay. And hopefully through that conversation they knew I was a pretty decent kid. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? And that's what I saw. Family, it was uncles, cousins, countless people in the community. We all know about the same people, so you probably know the same people I know. Okay. It was friends of my mom's, different relatives, all just, you see a guy, you know, as a kid, guy might, you know, put his arm around you and look out for you. And it's done subtly. It's not a big conversation. Okay. You know, you might be the kid that gets to ride in the front seat all the time. Okay. You know, you might be the kid that when you go in the store, you get the Funyuns, the Kit Kat, and the Sprite. Everybody else get the $3 bubble gum. You know? Yes, sir. It might not be a verbal thing. It just might be off actions. It might just be off a kind word here or there. It could be many things in life. But with that said, like, I didn't have any, like, rage against fathers because of my situation. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't think I'm a super judgmental person, because I've come to the point now as an adult where I really understand life and how it transpired. Even speaking to you, like the other flip of the coin. You know, the other flip of the coin would be again, my life's not crazy, but it's eccentric. I was raised with my grandmother. It was a time where my mom wanted to take me away from my grandmother. She wouldn't let it happen. And you met my brother.
Yeah.
They're nothing like me. So I always say that you never know what could have happened in that situation had
Absolutely.
not continued to be raised with my grandmother.
Yeah.
Because we were raised totally different.
Yeah, absolutely.
So with that flip of the coin touches base, right there. And that's the thing I think about is like things happen how they're supposed to happen.
Yeah. 100%, man.
They happen how, and you question it all. People question it all the time, but I don't think you come to a point where you try to find some kind of understanding. But at the grassroots of it, if it's supposed to happen, it was meant to happen.
Yeah.
And in some way, that has to be able to sit well with you. Some way in your life. And it's not easy. I don't think you should go looking for it. But at some point, it's going to settle in and be like, okay, that's why it was what it was.
Well, I mean, you know me pretty well, man. In my life, I've been the individual that wants to know.
Trust me.
I want to know. You know what I mean? And, you know, where I'm at now, where I've grown to, where I've matured to, just in my mindset and my approach is that it's okay not to know.
Exactly.
So it's okay not to fully agree. It's okay not to, and you know, just be fine with that. Like I said, you know, sometimes you got to take what people are saying at face value. If you can have a conversation, I implore anybody listening to have a conversation, have a dialogue with your father if you can, if it's possible, and just try to understand. You know, you said it earlier, you got to be open.
Got to be open.
And I know that can be easier said than done. But like I said, I would encourage anybody that can to have that conversation. And I think what also helped me is that I began to see my parents as individuals and not as a parent, right? Okay, so they are an individual. A parent is one hat that they wear.
Yeah.
But before you came, they were a whole with different ambitions, different life goals. Right. You know, the version of them that their friends know is completely different, probably than the version of them that you know as mom or dad, right? And so I began to look and understand them from that, like I would do anybody else. Oh, this is just an individual. They live their life like this and this. Sometimes because, like I said, it's our parent, we make it personal. Yeah. And it affects us, so we take it personally. And the reality is, like, just because somebody does something doesn't mean that, like, they had you in mind.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
That's the reality that I came to. Like, nah, I wasn't even thinking about you. I know it affected you, but I was thinking about me and what I wanted. And so I think it's just a powerful approach, man. And I just like to say thank you, man. I appreciate you taking the time to share that. You know, I know it's a personal story, and I appreciate it, man. And I hope that this conversation helps somebody. I hope that it inspires somebody to take some action and try to repair or try to mend a relationship with your father. That doesn't mean that y'all gonna, you know, be best buddies or anything like that, but at least get to a place where y'all have at least a mutual understanding of each other and, you know, how to function with one another. Right. Is there anything else that you would like to add before we close it out?
Off that, I mean, like we always say, I think that the key word we're preaching is understanding. And like you said, if you're going to go that route, you have to think of understanding at a base grassroots level, which is no preconceived notions, no expectations. You're not coming to get healed. You're coming to understand or try to gain some kind of understand, some knowledge, some learning, maybe something you didn't know. But it's not for everybody. It's a painful process sometimes. But I do think with parents, you should have some kind of understanding and grounding of what they had going on. I mean, they are why you're here. So, and a lot of times you can kind of pull out some of your traits just by learning what they may have done or been like, totally what you, and it'll help you understand yourself more.
100%, man. 100% agree. I'll say this. My mom used to always tell me, man, you're like your dad. And me being who I was as a kid, bit of a smart ass in a sense, I always say, I can't be like him. You raised me, right? And I had no idea until we had two interactions in 30 something years, and 2 one-on-one interactions in 30 plus years. And it was the second interaction that I actually saw what she was saying, and so that's why I say I do think it can be big to get understanding about yourself, just get a little insight into you. Like you said, those are individuals that help to create you, so you got some of that in you.
So it's in you somewhere. It's in you somewhere.
Like I said, though, it can be tough, but try to do it, seek it out. Like I said, man, I appreciate you for sharing and pouring some wisdom out, giving some nuggets. Hopefully somebody's encouraged by this to at least go try to have a conversation, man.
Anytime, man. I'm here for you, bro.
Appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir.
Much love.
Always.